Hello, hello, everybody, and welcome back to your Energy Booster podcast. This is once again your show host, Chinith Padilla. And today we are going to talk about how do we use time as a tool um, to get to have what we need to do according to our values. Most of the time, we are just being bombarded with a lot of tasks, a lot of responsibilities, and we get distracted in so many things that are around us. And sometimes we are not so clear on what is really our priority. That's why we get to be overwhelmed or burned out. So recently I launched a guide for working moms on how to overcome burnout. If you don't know, like few years ago I was in that situation that I put a lot of things on my plate and I was so pressured. And actually, nobody was pressuring me except me. I am very competitive, I am very goal oriented. And so I thought I could juggle everything, achieve everything that I wanted to achieve, and that only led me into burnout and I didn't like it. So my goal um right now is to help moms or dads who are in this journey. And we can't blame everyone, or we can't blame ourselves why we go through to this, because it's just sometimes we don't take time to pause. We just do and then say yes, yes, yes to anything and everything, and we are too open for opportunities and all this stuff. And when one day we just realized that we couldn't do it anymore. So yeah, in this series, I would like to help you on how you'd be able to give grace to yourself and still do the things that are important to you using this resource that God has given us, the precious time that God has given us. And yeah, um this episode is not just about theory, it's about practical, actionable strategies that can transform your daily life. And so let the class begin. First, let us understand the value or our values. What do we really want, or who we really are? What are the things that we really value the most? The foundation of using, time wisely begins with a clear understanding of our values. So let's begin with asking ourselves, what is most important to me? What is most important to you? Is it family, faith, health, career, money, friends, accumulation of material things? So let's identify these priorities as our guide or compass on what we really want to accomplish in a day, or even in our lifetime. And so we will not be bombarded with all the tasks that, one day we'll just realize don't really matter at all. And I don't want that for you. I don't want that to happen to you. You give all your energy and your time, and you give up something that's really important just to find out at the end that what you are trying to accomplish and now you have accomplished doesn't really matter at all. So let's do a simple exercise. Why don't you list your top five values? So when I did this 2 years ago, um, I identified my top five values as mine. Number one is my spiritual growth, and then my health, and then my relationships, my family, and then my career, and then, you know, having fun. So, using this as my compass on what I really want, that gave me now an action step on what I need to do every day, what I need to accomplish every day, so that I will be guided. So it becomes an autopilot. And so for 2 years now, I couldn't end the day without praying, without reading the word of God, without devotional, without connecting to my Father in heaven, because that's my number one goal. And then, exercise. I enrolled to the gym. I hired a fitness coach. And then right now, I graduated from that coach. And so I'm coaching my husband. And then we enrolled to the Y. I enrolled my whole family. And even if we don't go there, I see to it that I do my exercise at home and then all that stuff. So I don't know about you. We are unique and individuals. I don't know where you are in your journey right now, but I need you to know what are the five priorities or values that you have in your life right now and be clear with that. So, next, for 1 week, track how much time you actually spend engaging with these values. So, you have to check, did you really commit to these values that you have identified? So, if not, then how can you tweak it? How can you do better the following week? All right. And then these exercise will just highlight discrepancies and between what we value and how we allocate our time. And so, like, if you value relationship, if you're a mom, of course, if you have kids, if you value that, what should you do every day to nurture that relationship? So, like, what we do, just for example, is at night we have our devotional. We do talk about what we read in the Bible. That's how we bond. That's how I bond with my kids, and then I get to ask them, "How's their day so far? Is there anything that they want to share about what happened at school? Is there anything that you want to share about how they're feeling at the moment?" And I get to hug them. I get to tell them I love them, and yeah, I just, if I'm not working, I get to prepare breakfast for them and, yeah, make them happy. I drive them to school, stuff like that. So I don't know about you, but I'm just giving you examples and how I go through my day. Um, Knowing that I value these, knowing that these are my values, building relationships with my family, with God, and just, um, you know, uh, prioritizing health, not just with my body, but my mind. So, yeah, those are my top three. And then, of course, with my career, I just have to do it with all the compassion in the world. As a nurse, it's not easy, but this is a calling, this is an advocacy. It's really hard at work most of the time because I get to deal with patients who are very sick. I get to deal with kids who are very sick. And how would you make them feel, the significant others that you care, and just be, just give them empathy and show them or serve them as much as I could. So stuff like that. And with the fifth one, just having fun and going for adventures. So yeah, identify what hobbies that I love and make me happy and make me love. So that would be reading. I know some of you, I don't know, but that's kind of boring. But yeah, I love doing that. I love walking to the park, that's part of my exercise. But I want to tell you, walking is not really an exercise, but that's part of my hobby. I love doing it. And talking to friends and stuff like that. So yeah, so let's see. Luke 12:34 says, "For where your treasure is, there your heart will be also." This verse underscores the importance of aligning our time and resources that we truly treasure. So if you treasure money, of course, you'll just do whatever it takes to get it. So, but on the other hand, if you treasure your relationship with God, you prioritize it over anything in the world. So I don't know about you. I couldn't judge you. We are on a different phase and journey in our life, but I am just showing you how I do it. So probably you could consider it, so you will not be overwhelmed with all of these opportunities or invitations, and just saying yes to everything, because it's gonna drain you, and it's not gonna leave you fulfilled. So I wanted to help you live a life full of fulfillment and satisfaction, and not only that, with significance. So here are the strategies for prioritization. Now that you have identified your values, how would you translate this into your daily life? Prioritization is key. What is important? What is urgent? What is it that you need to do right now? And what is it that you can just say no with? Each day, I want you to ask yourself, what are the three most important things that I can do today that align with my values? Because a life without knowing what is important is a life that is scattered, that is wasted. And I don't want that for you, because I care for you and I love you. May not know you, whoever you are listening right now, but I want you to know that I care for you. I want you to know that if only somebody has guided me, or had gave me this kind of guidance and coaching, then I wouldn't have wasted many years of my life. And so I am here for you. So remember the rule of three. Every morning, write down the three most important tasks that align with your values and commit to completing them before the day ends. So, three most important things. I didn't say 100, I said three. After you did this three, now you're free. Now it will make you feel fulfilled, make you feel that you have done what you need to do, and so it'll make you happy. You know, so I want you to focus on what needs to be done in alignment to your values. Number two, time blocking. Allocate specific blocks of time in your schedule for these tasks. So while you're still practicing this, I want you to do time blocking, because eventually, when you get used to this habit, you don't have to do this anymore. It will just be an autopilot. So treat these blocks as non negotiable appointments with yourself. When you say non negotiable, it doesn't matter what happened in between or throughout the day. But you are, or you must do this task. Because if you wouldn't, then, you know, you wouldn't be satisfied with your day. So treat it as a non negotiable. Like, for example, regardless that I will be late at work, I will have to finish my devotional. So recently, like, yeah, I've been noticing myself. It's just this story. So every Thursday at work, um, my manager comes to our workplace early in the morning. She just used to come like 8:30, but every Thursday we have the team huddle, and she comes to work at 6:30. And I noticed myself have been coming like, late. So they're already starting the huddle while whenever I've before I arrive. So I get so embarrassed by that. But I told myself, like, if I don't do my devotional, um I wouldn't be as effective as I can be. I wouldn't be nice as I could be, getting to work. So that is more important. But I know that I need to tweak something. So that's another coaching for myself. Like, lately I've been experimenting on that. Like, what part of my day that I need to change without compromising my exercise and devotional before I go to work, that I could tweak so that I don't get to clock in late at work. Because as you've seen, my career is just a number four. So my number one is my spiritual life, my relationship with God. My number two is my health, my energy, my mind, my soul. And then number three is my relationship with my family, my loved ones. And so I don't get to, really guilty about it, but I know that I need to do something about it. But yeah, so that's just another example. So time blocking. And then number three, which is very important, is the power of no. Learn to say no. This is what I've been talking over and over again. It's okay to say no. Learn to say no to requests and opportunities that don't align with your values. Remember, every time you say yes to something, you're saying no to something else. Potentially something more aligned with your core values. So sometimes we say yes to this opportunity. And while saying yes to that opportunity, we compromise our core values, which is, when we do that, we're no longer aligned. So, when we're not aligned to our values, then something is broken. So always have the clarity, or always ask yourself, if I say yes to that, if I say yes to this, will it be in alignment to my core values? Because if the answer is no, then the answer is no. There's no maybe. There's no in between. It's just a no. And then how do we implement, the ideal week? Your values and priority, with your values and priorities in mind, it's time to design your ideal week. This doesn't mean planning every minute, but rather creating a rhythm that reflects to what's important to you. How do you wanna how do you want your week to look like? What is it that you're gonna say yes? What is it that you're gonna say no? What is it that you're gonna do? What is it that will make you happy? What is it that or what are the activities that you need to do in alignment to your core values? And when you do that, you won't be burned out. You won't be overwhelmed, but you will cultivate whatever it is that you want to nurture and grow. So, stretch out a weekly plan that includes time for work, family, self care, and spiritual activities, if those are your values. Be realistic but intentional. For example, if family is a top priority, ensure you're designing family time that's free from work or another distractions. And that, my friend, will build your relationship with your loved ones. As we close today's session, reflect on the parable of the talents in Matthew 25:14 to 30. You can open that verse, Matthew 25:14 to 30. We are each given talents or time or resources. The question is, how will you use these talents? How are you going to use your time? Because your time is not forever. Will we invest them wisely in alignment with our God given purpose and values? Or we'll just keep on wasting it? Friends, using time as a tool isn't about rigid schedules or productivity hacks. It's about living a life that's rich in what truly matters. This week, I challenge you to take one step toward aligning your time with your values. Remember, it's the small changes that lead to profound impacts on our journey towards personal and spiritual growth. If you think that this content is valuable, feel free to share it with your friends. I know you care about them. And if you want the guide or the full content of the guide on how to avoid burnout, I'm going to leave this on the show notes. You can check the links that I'm going to put in the show notes or description of this content in podcasts, or you can also view this in YouTube, wherever you're getting this podcast. And feel free to follow me in my social media platforms. You can also check my website at www.janicepadilla.com. I want to connect with you. Feel free to leave me a comment. Feel free to leave me a review. I want to know what your thoughts are. I wanna be your friend. And remember that I care for you. Thank you so much for spending your precious time listening to this content. I hope I was able to give you so much value that could change your life forever. Once again, this is Chinith Padilla. I love you and God bless.